Hi everyone. In this video series I'm demonstrating how to set up and use the Becker's Unreal Engine plugin. The purpose of the plugin is to provide a framework for Unreal Engine developers to easily manage custom Becker benefits in games and applications. The framework consists of two parts: the plugin itself, which is available on the Unreal Engine marketplace, and the backend API server, which is available for free as an open source project on both GitHub as a source code and Docker Hub as an installable Docker image. So in previous videos we set up both the backend and the Unreal Engine plugin and made it work. So now I want to show one use case. So far what we have is we can log in with our Patreon account, so something like this. So right now if I update the code, I don't have any code because this is empty in live code section. So of course I can use connect to connect with my Patreon account. You can see the difference here is that I actually named my install, which is useful if you are using the same Patreon account on many machines and you need to distinguish between those, and also when you are using this as a tester to distinguish between different test machines. So for now, if I update the code, of course I have my Becker's plugin Patreon account registered here, and I have this Coffee Droid tier. So that's what we did last time. So now I will try to do, or rather show you how to do something a bit different. And the thing I'll do is I'll actually create a tester account. So let me just delete this one. Okay, I have archive code. Okay, that's why I didn't do that. So if I wanted to set up a tester account and don't want my testers to have Patreon account, it doesn't make sense, right? So what I would do, I can add a Becker here manually. So I'll do just what was here just a second ago. So I'll create an account which I name here tester account. The URL can be anything, you just have to make it unique in your Becker's game data. So right now I'm using company URL, and I can, or I don't have to, but I can right away choose my tier that I want to use with this tester account. So I created tester custom tier, which is used just for testing. So I'll choose that one, and the rest I can leave empty. If I want, I can add some notes here. So if I save this, I now have this tester account. And so now the question is, how do I, if I'm not using this Patreon connect, how can I actually connect to my backend? So right now I'll disconnect with this account because I don't want to use crowdfunding platform as a backend. So I successfully unregistered, and it says I'm not a Becker. If I try to update, nothing happens. And if I refresh this, you can see that there are no live codes. So what I do here, this widget is set up so that I can double click here. So if I double click, I get this special kind of dialog where I get this Becker request code. And I just need to click here. That was the easiest way to implement this. I click this and it's now copied into my clipboard. So with that information, if it was real life use case, you would probably mail or instant message this code. This code, actually, I'll just paste it here. So what I did, I actually added new live code manually, and I'll just paste this code into this note section. There is also a comment here that you can use it for that purpose. And as you can see, it's the information here is not in any way transparent, so it's actually encrypted, so that that you can actually transfer it over or public networks and or other public means. So the only thing which you can kind of make out of this is the version hash, which is used to actually determine which private key to use to decrypt this. So that's the only thing you might kind of discern what's going on behind, but it doesn't provide any useful information. So one other thing I need to do here to make this work. So first of all, this login ID has to be empty, and it makes sense because I don't know this instance ID. I cannot know for this machine and this login. So also I don't know for which backer is this referring to, but since I got this code from email or instant messenger, I know who I got it from. That's how I can set this manually. And I can set this to any account, but I'll set it to my tester account because I want this code to be registered to this one. So since my tester account already has the tier set, I don't have to set the code tier. If this was not true, I would be notified that I need to set this also. I can, of course, I can set it manually to any tier, but I can also leave it empty and it will use the account tier. So now if I just save and continue editing this, you can see that it got a lot of information from that code. First of all, it got the note that I wrote here. So it's my PC number 1 and it's a Linux machine. So that's just the string that I wrote here. This is useful because you probably want to have, I don't know, 10, 20 testers on the same tester account, and you want to know which one is which. When you, for example, want to archive the game code or do whatever maintenance or change code tier or something like that. And also I got this instance ID, which is the instance of this installment and game install, and also code tier was picked up from the tester account. What it did is it packed this information and generated the signature with the private key for that game version. So if I'm using this version, I have that private key, and that private key was used to generate this signature. And that's how the system works. So you don't have to care about this, because now that I have this live code, the only thing you need to do on the tester machine, you just need to update the code. Because now it knows that for that machine, this is the valid account. So I have tester account, and my tier is tester custom tier. Probably this now does not reflect the real situation, because it's no longer a Patreon account. So maybe you would like to customize this widget, not to show the Patreon logo or whatever. So maybe implement your own custom branding. But you can see now that just by transferring that request code, we were able to create live code for this instance and use it. So yeah, that's in short how you can use this to authorize your testers. And also the same procedure would be used for any other purpose, for example, for enabling custom content for your VIP clients, or maybe if you want to implement some Easter eggs and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of an advanced usage, but I think it's very useful, and it can be useful in many cases. So yeah, thank you for listening. I'll be posting more videos about other use cases. So see you in the next video. Bye.